For the second weekend in a row, we are here at the Daytona International Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida for the 2023 NR2003 Trinity River Cup Series. Last week it was for the AutoNation Grand Prix at Daytona and Daytona 500 pole qualifying, and tonight we set the remaining 38 positions in the MacTools Duel at Daytona. Here we have the first duel getting ready to take place. The pole sitter for this one, Chase Harris. He is the pole sitter for the Daytona 500. Regardless of anything that may happen to him in this duel, he's got that position locked. The other drivers are going for that inside position for row number 2, and this will set the entire inside line for the Daytona 500. Joined alongside Darian Arnsdorf for the call of this one. And Darian, we've seen a lot of cycle racing in the past at Daytona. We're using a different version this year. We're using 2017. This is the 2011 revamped version we're just using for the duels, but it kind of operates similar to this one. These drivers are certainly going to have a different experience than they have in years past here at the World Center of Racing. What's got to be going through their heads as they try to survive these duels?
Honestly, I don't have a clue. It's at a race like this at Daytona and in Talladega, you never know what's going to happen until you get down to that final lap of the race. There's no point really of staying up front early in most of these races because you're kind of just risking yourself at the end of the race. What I would personally try doing is hanging back a little bit until you get down to about 10 to go, then start trying to move up through the field as much as you can, trying to be there at the very end, try and make your move in 3 and 4 on the final lap. That's when you can win this race here tonight.
And we'll have to see how it works out for everybody in the duel tonight. We're just about ready to get Duel 1 underway, so let's go down trackside. We'll get you the starting lineup, and we'll get the MacTools Duel at Daytona underway for the 4th season in a row. And the engines come to life at the World Center of Racing. 20 going to roll off the pit road. It's Chase Harris on the pole position for duel number 1. He starts alongside Season 3 champion Trey Smith. In row number 2, we find Colin Teague. He's starting alongside Brock Nelson. In row 3, we find Kyle McLeese. He's starting alongside Nicholas Samadio. Justin Zidell alongside Priya McShane. And then Kanan Biller alongside Christian Vargas. Trey Wright alongside Eric Monaco. Anthony McClure alongside Stephen Colon. Blake Parker alongside Dale Lightning. Caleb Rose alongside Alex Lozano, and last week's winner, Braden Perez, starting on the inside of Keegan Thompson. Darian, we got a whole lot of drivers here that are hungry to get up to the front and really get up to the front of this field to get that second spot on the inside lane to really get some momentum going into Saturday's race. Who do you think is going to walk away with the dub here in the first MacTools Duel?
Honestly, I think it's near impossible to predict who's going to win a race here at Daytona, but I'm going to try my best. I'm going to say it will be the rookie Anthony McClure winning duel number 1 here tonight.
Tell you something, those Wisconsin Racing Incorporated cars have been bad fast on super speedways, so we'll have to see how it goes. We've got a big super speedway here tonight, first super speedway race of the season, and we are just about ready to get it going. Pace car coming around turn number 4, ready to turn the 20 cars loose in the first MacTools Duel. 38 spots up for grabs tonight. To set the remaining field of the Daytona 500, Chase Harris and Trey Smith will lead the field to the green flag as the pace car comes down. And the green flag is about to wave. And there it is, we are green flag racing at Daytona! Down out of the fourth quarter into the tri-oval, it is still Chase Harris leading the way in duel number 1. He leads ahead of Colin Teague, Brock Nelson, Trey Smith, and Kyle McLeese. Trey Smith, they're one of your drivers, Darian, in the 10. Season 3 champion. And the All-Star Speed Team cars, your cars have been bat fast on super speedways. You've got a second place with Ryan Durrani in that 10 last year in the spring at Talladega. To see if your cars might have a chance of getting to the front. Here's Brock Nelson making a move to the inside.
Well, you see, the thing is, I'm always nervous whenever we come to Daytona and Talladega because, you know, one of those shirts that Kyle Busch had a year or two ago, where it's just like most expensive night in motorsports. That's kind of how I feel every time we come to one of these tracks. As you can see, that is the 83, I believe.
That is Justin Seidel. Yes, indeed, with a big push from late 2020 champion Kanan Biller in the second half of the year. The second full season of the Trinity River Cup competition. The all-time winningest driver that's still racing in the series. He is their second in line on the inside. As we come around once again to complete lap number 3, we're 3 wide up front. And we're going to try 2 rows of 3 wide. Trey Smith and Justin Seidel in the middle of it.
And you can see the 24 right behind giving a big push to Kanan Biller, but the 73 of Nelson is going to clear. He will keep the lead. As we go out of turn number 2, here comes McClure looking inside of Biller.
I mentioned Ryan Durrani a little bit ago. He won the spring Talladega race in 2021, and he owns that 73 that's leading the way right now, and he's got John Andrews in the next duel, I believe? Yes, yep, in the next duel. So we'll have to see. We'll have to look out for that 41 as well. He was very fast at New Smyrna, so we'll see about John Andrews in the next duel. But here's Trey Wright going down to the inside of Andrews' teammate, Brock Nelson. This is for the lead in the duel, and looks like he's going to get it. Anthony McClure shuffles back down to the inside. Darian, he's got another one of your cars hot on his trail.
Yeah, that's Blake Parker right behind in the inside, right behind McClure, as McClure is going to look for the lead inside of turn at number 3, and then you can also see the 15 of Caleb Rose right there behind the 14 of Parker, as you're 3 wide, 2 rows back, nearly 3 rows back.
Fastest driver of the race right now, Alex Lozano, 41.715, right in there behind Caleb Rose. There he is. The next quick number 57 is now. It's actually Stephen Colon in the 12, about 3 rows back in the quick trip Renault, 41.647, and they're still running they're running faster laps. We're already on to lap number 6. And this deep in the race already, they are still running faster laps. But everyone's still packed in like a can of sardines trying to get around this racetrack. You see them dime in the corner on the outside. You don't really see that a whole lot at Daytona, but that's happening tonight. And they've had some close calls about the last 2 or 3 times they've gone through there. But thank goodness, nothing tragic has happened as a result. Alex Lozano to the lead for a moment. Here comes Dale Lightning, who hasn't won a Trinity River Cup race since November of 2020.
Well, you said that they were going fast. I mean, of course they're going to go faster. At Daytona going 210 miles an hour on average as of lap 7. As you can see, here comes the 12 of Cologne. He will look inside for second. He's got help behind from, I believe that is the...
That's the 25 of Eric Monaco.
Yep, 25. Sorry, couldn't tell that from up here.
He's the winner of the Florida 500 at the Homestead Miami Speedway to kick off the season. And he is pushing Stephen Colon for the EL Alpine Racing Team into the lead on lap number 8.
Yep, and Cologne, good job for him so far, running up in the lead. Monaco behind, and then got one looking inside as Vargas is being pushed by his teammate Smith, back 3rd and 4th in line on the inside. Man. Oh my goodness.
Parker and Biller got together back there, got all squirrely and held on to it, but there's 4 cars in a line in the middle groove. Cologne tried to cut Harris off, not going to be able to. Here comes that 54.
Started on pole, looking strong here today in the duels, but still 12 laps to go as Vargas looks for the lead. The 91 of Priya McShane right behind Vargas now, as Smith gets forced high. Go down the backstretch, coming into 3 and 4. Vargas trying to take the lead away from Harris.
And it looks like he's going to. He's got a big push. Oh, trouble! There goes Dale Lightning into the wall with Stephen Cologne, and he's going to take Alex Lozano with him. Caleb Rose looked like he got a little bit of a piece. Trey Wright's up into the outside wall, and on lap number 9, the first caution of the first duel is out at Daytona. Leader at the line, Christian Vargas, and Darian, it just looked like perhaps that was inevitable with how tight things had been there a few laps prior.
Yeah, I mean, when you're going 3 wide, 4 rows deep here at Daytona, it's very tough to make it stick, and I think these drivers just figured that out firsthand.
Unfortunately, a lot of damage to the 12 of Stephen Cologne. Trey Wright in the 95 saw him up into the wall. The other car that's spun around, it looks like Kyle McLeese is slow as well. Wasn't sure if I saw him back in that incident or not. We'll take a look at the replay one more time.
But I'm not sure.
We'll take a look at the replay in just a second. Dale Lightning and Alex Lozano were also involved. But overall, a fairly minor incident here at the Daytona International Speedway, as well. You wouldn't expect necessarily a massive pileup, being there's only 20 cars in the duel, but poor Stephen Cologne, he's either going to get that hammered out or perhaps backup car. We'll have to see what happens with him. But the first caution is out here at Daytona. We are halfway done through duel number 1, and let's go back and take a look at what happened to bring out that first caution here at the World Center of Racing. So watching from overhead as we head into turn 3, like Biller, Monaco, and Lightning get together, sends Cologne up into the outside wall. Lightning tries to save it. He hits the wall. He comes down onto Lozano, and they go spinning around in the corner. Caleb Rose, a good job of getting slowed up, but Wright trying to slow up, gets up into the outside wall, skids along. But other than all that, there's not really a whole lot of damage from this incident, except for Stephen Cologne in the 12. Looks like he may be done for the night. But let's take a look at it at full speed.
So coming to turn number 3, you can see that they're 3 wide and it's just so compact together. You see the 81 get into, I think that was a 25 of them. Just not much that anyone really can do there to get out of that. Lightning, heavy damage. He might be a bit off pace when we get restarted, but we know for sure that Cologne is probably out of this one. Same with Lozano, he might be a bit slow as well, but thankfully, I wonder what happened here to Kyle McLeese, but not much more happening in this one.
Yeah, and something else happened that was separate, but I would imagine related to the incident that we saw over in turn 3 and 4. We'll take a look at what happened real quick to Kyle McLeese, and then we'll bring you the restart here at Daytona. So right as this incident was happening around him, here he comes out of turn 4, and Blake Parker just completely loses his marbles on the inside, just turns the 27 around, and there's where Cologne actually got his damage, right into the driver's door of the iRacing number 27, and goodness gracious, that was a hard hit for both drivers, and look, I guess McLeese is lucky that he's able to drive on, same for Stephen Cologne, but a very strange incident here in duel number 1. But the field is getting ready to get the green flag once again here at Daytona. Track is clear, we're good to go. So let's restart the first MacTools Duel. Welcome back to your live coverage here at the Daytona International Speedway. The first MacTools Duel well underway here at the Daytona International Speedway. First caution coming out at the end of lap number 9 for a multi-car incident in turn 3 and 4. I know Kyle McLeese just had an engine problem,
Oh,
looks like.
no.
Right as we come back to our live coverage, and it looked like he had gotten spun late in the incident. We saw skid marks coming out of corner number 4. Thought it might have been him. And now something else has gone awry for the iRacing Renault out of Logan Sport, and he's going to have to go to a backup car for the Daytona 500. He will finish in the 19th position as Stephen Colon, who was involved in the pileup, has already fallen out of the race as a result of the damage he sustained. Goodness gracious.
That's just a tough break for Kyle McLeese. You're already in the wreck. You spend about a half minute on pit road getting everything fixed, and now you come back on track. Right as you get caught back up, you blow the dang engine. Gotta feel for that team.
That is so unfortunate, but he will be back tomorrow afternoon for this Daytona 500 nonetheless. Green flag is back out here at Daytona, 7 laps to go, and it did not look like Christian Vargas got going at first. Chase Harris goes top to bottom, but he has no help. Finally, it looks like he's going to get some from Trey Smith.
Vargas' teammate's gonna help the guy trying to pass Vargas. Don't know how he'll feel about that one come the end of this one, but Harris is going to take the lead as they go down the backstretch with Smith just next on that inside line, and then behind him, Braden Perez, who's had a great start to the season.
Well, looks like it worked out well for the teammates because Vargas just pulled down in front of Trey Smith. Sam Adio's got a mirror full of Kanan Biller on the high side. He got a little squirrely. He's in between Biller and McShane at the moment. But now Vargas trying to tandem with Chase Harris. The pole sitter of the Daytona 500 leads the way right now. He's looking to take the duel to score some brownie points. Here comes Vargas down to the inside, though. He's bringing his teammate Smith and last week's winner Perez. 3 wide, a little further back with McClure on the inside.
A lot happening as they go down the backstretch. Only 6 laps to go in duel number 1. With Vargas, the leader, Smith looking inside. He might try and take the lead. He will try to take the lead. He's gotten the help from Braden Perez, last week's winner.
And looks like he's going to get the lead. He's got Perez has Thompson right behind him. Thompson just scoring his first top 10 of the season on the road course race last weekend. And he's pushing the winner of that race, Braden Perez, to the lead. He's got Colin Teague behind him. Teague, winner of Talladega 1 year ago. Thompson down to the inside of Perez, leaves his Toyota compatriot out hanging. They're 3 wide just behind him for that 4th position, with Brock Nelson on the inside for Ryan Durrani Incorporated.
Good race back up to the front for Brock Nelson as Thompson takes the lead, but here comes Teague, and here comes Nelson.
Whoa!
3 rows.
This is going to get antsy. 4 laps to go this time through. Brock Nelson to the inside. A big push from Anthony McClure. Through the tri-oval. Thompson up high. He's not going to be able to block it at the line. Nelson leads that lap, but 4 laps to go. At the world's center of speed, Justin Zeidel pushing the 24 of McClure to the top position here at Daytona.
What a race so far as McClure now leads ahead of Zeidel. Unbelievable stuff happening here at Daytona. As they go down the backstretch, Zeidel might look for it, but here comes a 95 of Trey Wright. He's helping the 83 get past the 24, and Zeidel will take the lead as they come out of turn 4.
But he's not but they're not going to stay hooked up for long. Zeidel goes to the outside. Wright's got a big push from Harris. You can't get rid of this 54. He's charging right back up to the front again. He's got Caleb Rose, Priya McShane, and Nicholas Samadio behind him, with Kanan Biller rounding out the train for the moment. Now Perez gets down and cuts off the 14 of Blake Parker. He'll try to march his way back up to the front with 2.5 laps to go from Daytona.
I don't know if there's much time for those in the back to get caught back up. As Wright leads over Harris, here comes the 91 of McShane looking inside of Zeidel. Rose sits in 3rd behind Harris as they're side by side for 4th and 6th.
Here comes Harris down to the inside. Rose looked like he was going to go with him. Does not. He stays up on the outside behind Wright. Might get down to the inside heading into 1. He'll not have a chance. Here comes Justin Zeidel.
Only 1.5 laps to go, coming up soon. McShane nearly freeway with Samadeus freeway. Now it's Biller back in the field as Harris is trying to take the lead. He's got help from Zidell and McShane, but McShane's going to look to go inside for second.
We're nearly at the point of no return. If we get the white flag, the race is official. We'll race around. If the caution comes out, we'll have a green-white checker. The white flag is in the hands at the start-finish line of the flagman. Chase Harris is 2.5 miles away from a MacTools Duel victory.
Started on pole, can he finish it out with the victory? Samadio free wide for third. He might look inside of McShane for second place as they go in 1 and 2. Biller right behind, team behind him.
2 Trinity River Cup Series champions on the inside. Samadio last year, Caden Biller season 2. Samadio up to the outside, trying to suck up to the back of the 54. Chase Harris is a 2.5 car length lead for the moment, trying to make it through the corner. Around 3 and 4, a big run for Samadio. Is he going to have a chance? The pole sitter, Chase Harris, is going to get some brownie points. He'll win the first MacTools Duel at Daytona.
Unbelievable. What a finish. Great job for Chase Harris to hold off Samadio at the end.
His second ever win of any kind on the Trinity River Network. He won at the Auto Club Speedway in a points-paying race last year. He now banks a Speed Weeks victory here at the World Center of Racing. Mr. Edge finishes in the second position. Kanan Biller third. Justin Zidell in fourth. Colin Teague fifth, and then Nelson, McShane, Perez, Wright, and Thompson round out the top 10. All the finishing positions for this duel will be on the inside lane of the Daytona 500, and well, since Chase Harris won this duel, it's going to be exactly how you see the results, because he not only won this duel, but he locked up the pole in pole qualifying on Sunday afternoon. So Chase Harris looking to turn around a season that he has struggled in through the first 3 races. He's 38th in the standings coming into this weekend. This could be big momentum for Harris. Here's the rest of your finishing results. Chase Harris with an average race speed of 157.295 miles per hour. He wins by 75 one-thousandths of a second ahead of Nicholas Samadio. 18 cars finishing this race. Kyle McLeese and Stephen Colon falling out. McLeese with a busted header, and Stephen Colon was involved in that big pileup in turn 3 and 4. Darian, before we move on to the second duel, any final thoughts on this one?
Oh, that was a lot of great racing there. You don't really think when you're coming into these kinds of races that you'll see the guy starting on pole for a duel race end up winning it at the end, because he knows he's got the spot locked up. You'd think he tries to hang back and conserve the car, but he didn't, and it paid off for him. So he's got 2 straight firsts so far. Let's see if he can get a third one tomorrow afternoon.
We'll have to see how it goes for Charis. Congratulations to Chase Harris once again, and we will be right back to bring you the second MacTools Duel right here on the Trinity River Network.
In this business, you can win or lose a race by a matter of seconds.
That's why I depend on my crew to get this car to its top performance.
In this shop, we only use MacTools because, as far as I'm concerned, it's the only tool to buy.
Hey, these guys are the experts. If they trust MacTools, I trust MacTools.
Call today for the name of your local MacTools distributor or for distributorship opportunities.
Welcome back to the Daytona International Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida. We are here for the second duel in tonight's MacTools Duel at Daytona. The first race being won by the pole sitter of the Daytona 500, Chase Harris. And the finishing order, I should say, from the first duel makes up the entirety of the inside lane. This duel making up the outside lane. And the man who's locked up the second position on the front row is William Bruck. He will lead the field to the green flag momentarily alongside teammate Scott Upton. Darian, will go ahead and bring you in one more time. We've seen that first duel. Now, they were starting on the inside, and obviously we saw the inside lane moving very quickly. Didn't see much from the outside lane, so I don't know, would you want to, this is going to sound like an interesting question, but would you want to start further back? Given that it's a 50 lapper and we're not really going to have pit stops tomorrow on race day, would you want to start up further to the front of the outside, or start to the rear of the inside, or do you really think it makes a difference?
If we're talking about tomorrow night's or tomorrow afternoon's race, I would want to be starting on the front of the outside line, because you're going to be sent to the back much faster, considering that from what we saw tonight so far, it does seem a bit like a conveyor belt of drivers moving up and moving up through the field. Not to say it's not impossible to defend on the outside, but it's just very tricky. If it was me, I would try starting in the top 5. I would try finishing top 5 of this duel, starting the top 10 tomorrow, so you have more time to fall back and have more time to work your way up through the field in the later stages of the race to try and be there at the end, as to what I said in Duel 1.
Yeah, well, I'll ask you something else. How many of them are actually going to follow that advice?
0.
Exactly. It is going to be a fierce, competitive duel once again. We saw some action in the first one. We are looking forward to some more, with the two Ninja Rabbit cars leading the way. William Brock and Scott Upton. We'll go ahead and bring you the rest of the starting lineup, and we'll get this duel underway from Daytona. So once again, the engines will come to life here at the Daytona International Speedway. William Brock, who has yet to win a race at all in the Trinity River Cup Series, a Scott's National Series winner, and a CarQuest Indy Racing League Series winner. Two-time winner on the channel. He's looking to get one at the big cup level. Could he do it tonight in duel number 2? He starts this one alongside teammate Scott Upton in the Team Ninja Rabbit 78 for owner Ben Grorich. In row number 2, we find Sebastian Kukulon in the Hershey's Chocolate number 82 for Trinity River Racing. He starts alongside Andrew Williams. Row 3, we find Brandon Hayes, rookie, starting alongside the Frenchman Paul-Antoine Cyr. Row number 4, we find the 52 of Ace Garcia, starting alongside the 11 of Marty Sakala. Row 5, it's Alejandro Cruz Jr. and Mitchell Collins. Row 6, it's Jacob Thibodeau and Elijah Gordon. Row 7, it's Thomas Troxel and Max Sterling. Row 8, Will Parrish and Brad Stover. Row 9, Mitchell Henderson and Roberto Crown Jr. Rounding out the field, it is John Andrews and Chase Buck, the Clash winner. Darian, a lot of really good drivers here in this duel, and some plate winners have passed. Who do you think is going to go to victory lane tonight in Daytona?
This one probably won't age too well, but I'm going to go to 7 of Paul-Antoine Cyr. He's starting up in the front on that outside line. There's only 20 laps in this race and only 20 cars in the field. I think it's more likely for him to fall back and move his way back into the field and be there at the end, barring a caution like we saw in Duel 1.
That's an interesting pick since his teammate blew up in the first duel.
Well, let's just hope that the Renault engines don't go kablooey like they do in F1.
We'll have to see what happens here at Daytona. His teammate, of course, Max Sterling, rookie in the 17, not very far behind on that outside, so unlike Kyle McLeese, he's going to have a little bit of help getting to the front if they get hooked up. Pace car getting ready to make the hard left turn into the pits. Here we go. 20 engines about to take the green flag, and the second MacTools Duel is green from Daytona. Much more even start that time for the front row. It's William Brock pulling ahead for the moment. He's got Sebastian Kukulon on his back bumper. And then behind they stay 2 by 2 through the back 19 positions. They head down to the back straightaway, still trying to get up to speed.
See that 84 Brandon Hayes pushing the 82 of Kukulon. I remember the last race I commentated with you in the Clash. He showed a lot of promise in that race. And I do think that he could be very good here in the Cup level, should he have some luck go his way.
Polar Star has been really good to start off the season. Brandon Hayes won the third heat in Clash Night in Rossburg, Ohio. He's trying to get a run going to the inside of Kukulon. They are 3 wide For that, the 5th position, as your pick, Paul Antoine Sierra, has pulled away, and they are single file through the first 4 spots. Brock, Upton, Williams, and now Williams taking a look to the inside, all by his lonesome in the Advent Health Aston Martin.
Don't think that's going to work too well for Williams. Oh, well, it might, as Hayes looks inside of Sakala 3 wide. Behind them, that is the 46 of Alejandro Cruz being pushed by the 32 of Jacob Thibodeau. Single file throughout the front 6 as we take lap number 3.
A very different start to this duel than we saw in the first one, but now the single file starts to die off a little bit. Hayes got sideways, heading off into turn number 1, holds on to it. I don't know what happened there to the 84, but a very low entry into the corner, perhaps just misjudged it. Rookie mistake from Brandon Hayes, but he slips back, and that stacks up the entire back half of the field, and the top 4 pull away for a moment, and an aggressive block by Hayes on Marty Sakala in the 11, 2-time winner last year.
Yeah, I don't know how Sakala's going to feel about that one with the rookie, as Sear moves into 3rd past Upton, and here comes Hayes trying to get past him as well. Sakala pushing the 84, and then we have a fight for the lead going on as Williams looks inside of William Brock.
It's William and Williams on the inside and outside, and it looks like Williams is going to get it from William. Are you confused yet?
Slightly.
Here's Brandon Hayes drafting up to the backside of the 50. They're going to go 3 wide for that 2nd position, with Marty Sakala going into that 2nd position with a push from Jacob Thibodeau in the 32. Out of corner number 4, Sakala up and behind the 50, and he'll take a look to the inside, looking for some help from the Pacific Hamlin Racing Toyota, and he might just have that lead heading off into turn number 1. It looks like he will have it.
Also see the 41, Andrews back inside. He's pushing the 32 now, as Thibodeau is going to try and get past the 11 as he's pushing him ahead, but now he's going to go up try and help Sakala, and in comes John Andrews.
John Andrews all by his lonesome for a moment, now pulls up in front of Scott Upton. Looks like he's going to get some help from Mitchell Collins there in the 43, as Sakala, Thibodeau, and Andrews have cleared the top 3 positions as they're 3 wide for 3 further rows back.
Seems like you're 3 wide for the entire field here at Daytona. As you see the 43, I believe that is, of Mitchell Collins.
He goes up to the outside, and Andrews down to the inside of Thibodeau. The 78 trying to get up to the back of that 41.
Yeah, Andrews trying to move up through the field here. He's right upside with Jacob Thibodeau. Upton pushing behind the 41, and here comes the 59 of Brock behind Upton. Sakala's pulling away a tiny bit here as Thibodeau is on the outside. He's pulling a bit ahead of the 41.
Them being side by side behind has opened the door for Sakala for the moment. They can't catch up to him if they're doing this. So Thibodeau cuts off the 41. He'll try to suck up to the back of the 11, and here he goes to the inside, trying to use the 41 as a pick.
Good move by Thibodeau in the 1 and 2. He'll take the lead away with help from Andrews.
Thibodeau has had a very difficult start to the season. He's looking to get some momentum heading into the biggest race of the season. He leads the way for the moment. John Andrews of Texas with a push coming from Scott Upton, the 78, and your pole sitter for this duel, William Brock, and the outside pole sitter for the Daytona 500.
These guys starting on pole are having much better luck here in the duels than I honestly expected. We saw with Harris in Duel 1, he ended up winning it. Wonder if Brock could do the same. We got 13 laps to go. Here in Duel 2 is Upton right behind Andrews, pushing the leader.
2 by 2 through the majority of the field. Mitchell Henderson, the only one caught in the middle sucker hole. The outside lane has kind of stalled out for a moment. The inside lane has been moving. They've tried to get a middle lane going, but just could not maintain it. Andrews almost up to the middle. It looked like Upton was potentially going to try a move down to the inside of that 41. Thought better of it and stays in behind the Honda Civic, the Ryan Durrani Incorporated Honda of John Andrews. His teammate Brock Nelson was in the last duel. He ran pretty well, but Andrews up front now 3 wide for second as Thibodeau slips ahead of all this. Upton, Sakala, and Andrews.
Now, one thing that I am noticing, they're about 2 miles an hour faster In this duel, when they were in the first one, the average speed up to this point was 210 in Duel 1, and now it's 212. So, small difference, but it is faster, as we see the 59 free wide for the lead, and he'll try and take off help from Elijah Gordon.
3 by 3 for the top positions as Andrews got into the side of Elijah Gordon. We almost had trouble. We had trouble at the end of lap number 9 in the first duel, and it almost happened again, but thank goodness they saved it that time.
Well, they say lightning doesn't strike twice. It nearly did there, as Brock leads Gordon 3 wide for second, looking inside of Upton and Thibodeau, as Brock is absolutely pulling away.
Yeah, they do say that lightning never strikes twice in the same place, but holy smokes, it almost did that time. And here we go. William Brock has pulled away to a massive lead for a moment, but he's in a situation where he could be a so-called sitting duck as Buck gets turned into the wall. The big one here at Daytona. Gordon up in the air. 7, 8 cars on the outside. Sear a little further back. Looks like he's going to get through it. Thibodeau got caught up in it. Williams, Sakala, Upton, Hayes, Collins. There's Buck in the 45. A ton of damage on the Monkey Buck Racing car. Mitchell Henderson looks like he's got some rear end damage. And the big one has struck at Daytona in duel number 2, 1 lap later than we had the incident in duel number 1, but it did strike in the same spot, just not on the same lap, but goodness, it almost did the lap before, and it looked like they just bit off more than they could chew that time around.
Yeah, I was about to mention the 45 of Chase Buck moving up through the field. I saw him looking inside for second. I really didn't think that would happen on that particular occasion, but gotta expect the unexpected here at these plate tracks, and I just wasn't expecting it that time.
Well, that may very well take some cars out of the race. I would imagine Buck will have to watch him, Sakala as well. But goodness gracious, big incident in the third and fourth corner. Going to stack the field back up, and we will have a short dash to the checkered flag here in the waning laps at the Daytona International Speedway. But real quick, let's go back and take a look at what happened to bring out this caution here in the second duel in the MacTools Duel at the Daytona International Speedway. So watching from overhead, Buck slips up from the bottom up into Upton, and Gordon and Thibodeau join him into the outside wall. Sakala nowhere to go. Andrews actually gets a piece there on the side of the 41. Gordon up in the air. Williams gets turned around and in behind. Hardly a place to go. The whole back half of the field looks like gets caught up in it. Mitchell Henderson got a little bit of a piece there, drives away from it. But looks like with Andrews, the count, or before Andrews, the count was about 10. We're up to 11 cars that were caught up in this incident. So just barely most of the field involved in this one. Vicious accident here at Daytona. Let's take a look at full speed.
Like I said in duel number 1, just whenever you're racing this close together, there's bound to be some kind of an accident, and there it was right there in turn number 3. We were worried about it the previous lap happening, but decided to wait 1 lap longer and collect about 6 more cars. Big wreck here, about 11 involved, and I believe about 5 out of the race. But should be going back green with 6 to go here soon enough, since there's a big accident in turn number 3.
Indeed, just such a shame for everybody involved. They will have to go to backup cars, and they will not be starting up at the front of this Daytona 500. But outside pole sitter William Brock leads the way. He's looking to repeat what Chase Harris did in duel number 1. The front row looking to lock out the duels here at Daytona. We'll see how that goes. Track is clear. We're good to go. So let's head to the restart here in the second MacTools Duel at Daytona. Lights are off atop the pace car here at the World Center of Racing. Welcome back to the Daytona International Speedway. MacTools Duel number 2 underway here. 5 cars being taken out of the race in a major pileup in turn 3 and 4. So we have 15 drivers left on the racetrack. Your outside pole sitter for the Daytona 500, William Brock, currently leads the way. He's looking to do what Chase Harris did in duel number 1. win the duel, already starting on the front row. He doesn't need to get up there. His position's already locked, but he wants some brownie points. He's got Polar Star's Brad Stover behind him, who's been a hungry, feisty competitor all season, looking to get that ever-elusive first career victory. It's Thomas Truxell, Independence 500 winner at Pocono last year. He is in the third position. Sebastian Kukulon, a three-time points winner in the series, sits fourth. Ace Garcia sits in the fifth position as the green flag flies. 6 laps to go in the second MacTools Duel.
Good start for Brock there. He pulls away from Sobers. Here comes the 82 of Kukulon looking inside of Troxel.
He's got a big push coming from the 52 of Ace Garcia out of Team Velocitar. His teammate, Mitchell Henderson, not very far back. He's trying to get up against the backside of the 02 of Will Parrish. Looks like everybody's getting up to speed for the most part. As they head down the back straightaway, they spread out for a moment, but they'll try to accordion together, no doubt, as we make the run to the checkered flag here over the next few laps. We're coming around for 5 laps to go. It's Brock and Stover who have pulled away all by their lonesome for a moment, with Troxell and Kukulon side by side for third. The two Chevrolets leading the way. Stover is not making a move just yet.
Stover right behind Brock. You know that he wants to get past him. He's already currently in the second spot on the outside, but you know he wants that first career win. Troxell sitting in third as Parrish looks inside of him now. Back for third. Garcia inside. Oh,
Man, goodness gracious, that was tight.
nearly thought Troxell would get himself turned there.
He very nearly did. Andrew Williams and Mitchell Collins slipping back from the pack. Collins coming off of a 40th place finish at the Daytona Road Course race last week. This is not how he wanted his duel to go, but he still has the Daytona 500 tomorrow afternoon. Brock still leads the way with 4 laps to go. Stover second, Parrish, Henderson, Troxell the top 5. Paul-Antoine Cyr and Alejandro Cruz Jr. looking to pounce on the inside. They've hooked up.
Parrish now, he'll look for inside of Stover for second place with the 53 of Henderson right behind him. Cyr looks inside of Troxell, so does Cruz as they move into 5th and 6th, but Cruz is going to look inside of Cyr now as they take 3 laps to go in duel number 2.
They're trying to get the tandems going. Up front, it is still William Brock side by side for second. Parrish and Stover going at it. Henderson trying to make it 3 wide, pulls back behind the 02. They're looking to dethrone that Best Buy number 59.
As they come out of 2, here comes Cyr. Will he get the run to move into 3rd? 3 cars now inside. Cyr, Cruz, and Troxell, but Cyr moves back high. Here comes Cruz, he can't get a run.
Around turn 3 and 4, they'll go one more time. A different dynamic to this finish than the first duel. There are less cars in this one. There were 18 left after the pileup in duel number 1. There are 15 left, and really, it looks like about 13 of them are actually still in this pack. Actually 12, as Andrews, Williams, and Collins have all slipped back from the field. 2 laps to go in this second duel. Will Parrish has not been able to make it around that 59. Here's Paul-Antoine Cyr looking to dethrone that 02 by himself. Pulls back in line behind the Dent Wizard 02. He's going to look for some help from Mitchell Henderson in the 53 as they round corner number 4. Coming to get the white flag this time in the second MacTools Duel.
Cyr's been driving his butt off ever since the restart. Restarted a bit farther back. He's up to 3rd, right behind Parrish. Trying to get the run. He's going to look inside for 2nd. Henderson still high. Brock comes down inside. Cyr, he might be able to get 2nd, but I don't know if he'll have a run for William Brock.
They're trying to get a tandem going on the outside. 3-car freight train on the outside of Paul-Antoine Cyr. Parrish, Henderson, and Troxell. Now Troxell pulls in behind the 7, and they'll say bye-bye to William Brock. He's going to repeat what Chase Harris did by the looks of it, unless Will Parrish can get to him, and he's not close enough. William Brock, the front row, sweeps the duels. Brock wins the MacTools Duel at Daytona. Unbelievable.
Never would have thought that we'd see the front row win the duels, yet here we are. Great job for William Brock and that team.
And with that, the field has been set. This duel was supposed to be for the second outside starting position. That will go to Will Parrish in the 0-2. Paul-Antoine Sierra finishes third, Troxel fourth, Mitchell Henderson fifth, and they tried again and again and again and again to get a run on that 59, just to no avail.
I mean, it didn't seem like they were trying to pass William Brock. It seemed like they were trying to pass the guy in second.
It certainly seemed to be the case.
It makes sense. I mean, that's the spot you're going for. The win doesn't matter when William Brock is already up there, unless you just want to go to victory lane. It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things when we look at what's going to come tomorrow.
Yep, the biggest, brightest jewel, the Daytona 500 tomorrow at 1 p.m. right here on the Trinity River Network. But as William Brock pulls in his stall, his first win of any kind in the Trinity River Cup Series, we'll take a look at your finishing results. It's Brock with an average race speed of 157.702 miles per hour, by just a little over a tenth of a second ahead of Will Parrish, Paul-Antoine Sierra, Thomas Troxel, Mitchell Henderson, Ace Garcia, Max Sterling, Alejandro Cruz Jr., Brad Stover, and Brandon Hayes round out the top 10. Kukulon, Crown, Andrews, Williams, and Collins, the only other drivers that finished this race. Buck, Gordon, Sakala, Upton, and Thibodeau falling out. They'll have to go to backup cars ahead of the Daytona 500 tomorrow. Darian, final thoughts on this duel?
Well, definitely those first 10 laps were extremely intense. The last 10 remind me of a certain Daytona race from last year, if you know what I'm thinking about. But still, great racing nonetheless. And a lot to come tomorrow, that's for sure.
Absolutely. The 50 laps here at Daytona will be in the sunlight. Hope to see y'all then. Congratulations one more time to both Chase Harris and William Brock for locking out the front row and then locking out the duels. How about that? We'll see you tomorrow for the Daytona 500. And until then, on behalf of Darian Arnsdorf, thanks everyone for tuning in. Y'all take care, stay safe, and have a good one.